So here are the answers to Wednesday's assignment. So Journal 282 we'll start with. So you had to complete the table with the equivalent names, so fractions, decimals, percent. So here they gave you 31%, which is the same as 31 over 100, and that cannot be reduced any lower, which is the same as 31 hundredths as a decimal. Okay, here they gave you 10 hundredths, which would be 10 over 100. Now that can be reduced down to 1/10, which would also be 10%. Now 4/16, two ways to think about this is I know I can reduce this to, I can divide them both by 4. So this would reduce to 1/4, or you could always divide 4 divided by 16, but 1/4 I know is 25 cents, 1/4 out of a dollar, so 25 hundredths, which is the same as 25%. 5% would be like 5 over 100, which would be 5 hundredths as a decimal. And I know this can reduce if I divide both of these by 5. So reduced fraction would be 1 over 20. Now we had to insert decimal points, so I like to use the estimation. So if I rounded this to 80, and I rounded it to 80 because I know that if I do 80 divided by 4, 4 can go into 80 exactly 20 times. So my estimate would be 20. Sorry, it's sloppy. So I would have to insert my decimal here to make that close to 20. So 18.7. Here I have 34.5 divided by 5. Well, if I round this is almost 35. And I know that 35 divided by 5 is exactly 7. That a little bit better. So I would have to put my decimal right here. 6.9 is really close to 7. Okay, 88.5 divided by 3. Well, I would round this one to 90. It's really close to 90. And 90 divided by 3 is 30. So I put my decimal right here because 29 and a half, 9.5 is almost 30. One more, 193.6. I would probably round this to 200. I'm thinking about what would be easy to divide. 200 divided by, I would round this to 10. 8 is really close to 10. So 200 divided by 10 would be 20. So I would put my decimal right here. 24 is really close to 20. Now, there are more ways to estimate, but I always just try and pick easy numbers that are close to divide. Okay, I've already gone ahead and done this one. So Julie babysat for the family next door. Here are her hours Monday through Friday. Create a bar graph. So I already did, here's the title, babysitting hours. You could put for Julia. Over here are the hours she worked, 1 through 5, because 1 was the lowest she worked and 4 was the highest. So I just went up to 5. Days of the week are on the bottom. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I used my text boxes. That's this one, just so you know. So then on Monday, she worked 4 hours. Tuesday, she worked 2.5. Wednesday, she worked 1. Thursday, she worked 1.5. And I'll show you how to do this. I used the highlight tool and I picked this kind of purplish pink. So you start at the 0, and on Friday, she worked 3 hours. So I just went up to 3 and went over, and it fills it up for you. And then you can always move this around here if you need to. Kind of a cool little tool. Then I just go back to my cursor so I can't change anything. So there's the bar graph for Julia babysitting hours. Oops. Okay, then we need to plot points. So A is at, oh, I don't have to go over. I'm going to stay right at 0 and go up to 4. So the coordinate point for A is 0, 4. B, I have to go over to 5 and up 3. So 5, 3. Remember to always go over and then up. C is over 1, up 3. D is over 3, up 5. And E is over 4, up 2. Okay. Now write 5 names for a negative 73. Well, this is unlimited answers. So thinking about the good guys and bad guys, or you know, starting at a number and going right or left on the number line. So I don't know, let's just start with 0, and I'd have to subtract 73 if I was at sea level, and I'd have to swim down 73 feet. Let's go to a negative 100. If I have 100 bad guys, how many good guys will I need to get to 73 bad guys? Well, I would have to find the difference, basically. So, what, 27 good guys? Is that right? That makes sense? Think so? So, you can kind of have fun with that. If I wanted to start at, let's say, let's make it tricky. Let's go to 50 good guys. I'm stuck here. So if I start, I have 50 good guys. How many bad guys will I need? I can add, how many bad guys? Well, I would need at least 50 to make that even, right? So I would need a lot of bad guys. So I'd say 50 bad guys, and I would need 23 more bad guys, right? Let's see if that would make that. I need more than that, don't I? That would get me 73, but that wouldn't be right. So 50, I'd need a lot more than that. How about 50, and then I need to get to 73. So it'd be another 73. So how many do I have altogether? 123 bad guys. Okay, so you could have fun with that. If you have any questions on any of that, let me know. Okay, so now here's the worksheet 10.6 that you did. So you had to just compare and then order. So 314, well, we know that 14 is more, so I'm going to eat the bigger number. Oh, these are, we think even? No, they're not, because this is positive and these are bad guys. So 7 is bigger. 20 is bigger, we know that. And here, well, 8 below is a warmer temperature than 10 below. Or you can think I'm deeper in the ocean, so this would be higher, closer to sea level. Okay, on these, you just have to think about, they added fractions in here, but don't let fractions get you all goofed up. So let's see, I'm going to go with I need the least amount. Well, I know 8. Negative 8 is the smallest. It's the deepest in the hole. It's the coldest temperature. Then I'm going to go to negative 3 if it was just 3. So 3.4. And then I have a negative 4th. What's my only other negative? Then I'm getting higher. So 1.7. And then 5. Whoops, I'm missing one. Oh, 1/2. Whoops. 1/2. Sorry, I'm going to just put it in 1/2. I missed that. I just didn't see it. 1/2 was here, then 1.7, and then 5. Sorry. Okay. Number 6. My smallest number way down there is 40, negative 43. That'd be a really, really cold day if it was that. My only other negative would be 3. Then I'm at 0. Then I have to think, okay, well, I know 22 is my biggest, so I'm just going to go and put that there. There's no right way to order them, but and then I know if I'm going to put 5 here. Now 14/7, if I do 14 divided by 7, I'd get 2. So 14/7 is the same as 2. Whoops, didn't need to do that. Or if I reduce that, that would get me 2 holes. All right, now number 7 and 8, you got to do kind of on your own. Now 4 positive numbers less than 2. Well, it couldn't include 2. And a positive would start a little bigger than 0. So anything in between 0 and 2. So, and it has to be positive, so I know I'm going to go this way on the number line. So you could do a fraction, you could do a decimal. Let's go half, which would be the same as 0.5. You could do 1/3. I know 1/3 is more, whoops, not 1/3, but 2/3. Sorry, gosh, 2/3. I could go 1. I could go 1.5. I could go 1 1/6. There's lots of different choices you guys could do here, as long as it's greater than 0 and less than 2. Okay, now for negative numbers greater than a negative 3. So a negative 3 would be the smallest you could go, but it can't equal negative 3, so anything greater than negative 3, but less than 0. So anything between here. So these are all going to have to be negative. So you could start by doing that. And then you can choose, but be careful. Let's say I'm going to do negative 1. Now I'm going to have to go deeper if I'm sea level. So let's go, how about negative 1.5? 1 1/3, 1 1/4, 1 1/6, 1 1/8. Okay, now you have to go even deeper. So what's smaller than 1.5? Well, let's go 1 and how about 1/3? That work? And then make it simple and just go 2. Now, again, lots of choices. If you have questions on that, let me know. Okay, here they put a number line here for you if you wanted to use that strategy. I like the good guys, bad guys. Well, 4 plus 9, we know that's 13. That's the math that we've been doing. 4 good guys, 9 bad guys. Well, the bad guys are going to win by 5. There's 5 more bad guys. Okay, I have all bad guys, so I know I'm bad guys. How many bad guys do I have altogether? 13. Number 10, 5 good guys plus 3 good guys is 8 good guys. B, I have 5 bad guys, 3 good guys. Well, the bad guys are going to win by 2. Here I have all bad guys. I can only have bad guys. I have 8 bad guys altogether. Here I only have good guys, so I have 15 good guys. Okay, I have 2 bad guys, 13 good guys. The good guys are going to win by 11. Now you don't have to put the good guys symbol, the pluses, but it's not wrong if you do. Okay, last one. I have all bad guys. So I have bad guys.